There is a difference between a good thing and a God thing. In 1 Samuel 15, we read that Samuel comes to Saul with a command of God to go up against the Amalekites and to completely and utterly destroy them, to spare nothing, animals, people, nothing. And there's two things that I want to draw out of this text. But we see that as Saul goes up in this battle, he spares the king of the Amalekites. And not only does he spare the king, but he spares the best and the choicest animals and every good thing. And when Samuel comes and confronts Saul, Saul tries to justify his disobedience by saying that he's saving all of these animals, the best animals, to sacrifice to the Lord, because that's what he knows is written in the law. But Samuel reminds Saul of the command of God, which was to spare nothing. And this is the context behind verse 22, where it says that God desires obedience over sacrifice. This is also where in this chapter we find that the Bible says that God rejects Saul as king because Saul had rejected him. And I said there are two things that I want to draw out of this text. The first one is that Saul was law-focused rather than relationally focused. He was considering what was written in the law and in the commands of the law rather than what the current command of God was that was given to him. The second thing is that a good thing can become a bad thing when it is not in accordance with the will and the commands of God. Because we read in the text that Saul saved the best of the animals. And this was according to the law. This was generally a good thing. But if we even go back to the creation in Genesis, when man was originally created, we had no knowledge of good and evil. The only way we could ever know to label something as good or evil was by going to God with every individual situation and finding out what he says about it, whether it's good or bad. So even a good thing can become a bad thing if it goes against the current command and will of God.